Hello and welcome to another episode of J-Pod, Jefferson's very own podcast. I'm Brad Capener, Superintendent of Jefferson Schools, and I'm joined here by my two co-hosts, Chris Shaw and Becca Mallory. Hi, guys.
Hey, it's great to be back.
Yeah. Hope you had a nice summer.
Very relaxing. Did you?
Oh, yeah. We got to relax a little bit and have some traveling. It was fun.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to be back.
I had a nice, relaxing time installing networks and building websites.
Yeah. You guys have been really working hard this summer, so that should be an episode in itself, right? Talking
Agreed.
about all the things that we've got going on with technology. Well, today we are actually talking about a very important subject for school districts, and that is our food service program. Nutrition service program is what we're calling it. And we are joined here today by our new director, Sharon Short, who has joined us now for just this summer, coming on board. And so we are extremely pleased to invite you. Hello and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, thanks for being here today. So let's, before we launch into food service, because there's a lot to talk about there when it comes to nutrition services. Let's take a moment and just find out a little bit about yourself. So you're new to our district, but you're not new to food service or nutrition. It's going to take me a while to get to that. Nutrition services is what we're calling it. So tell us a little bit about your background, if you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, I have been in school meals programs for about 25 years. I started out working in a kitchen at a high school myself. And really enjoyed that. And then I ended up in Greater Albany being the director for many, many years, probably total there about 16. And then I headed over to Camas for a while and worked with their program. Really enjoyed that. And so now here I am in Jefferson.
Yay.
And very excited.
Yeah, very good. Well, it's a real win for us to have your talents and skills here, and we're just blessed to have you. So thanks for being here today to answer some of the questions. I think when it comes to nutrition services, there's a lot of unknown, and there's just a lot of questions, and I think we're here to maybe answer some of those today.
Yes, I agree. There is a lot. It is a big, big program, very important program for the community.
Yeah, absolutely. And so one of the things that always comes to me is how do we get students interested in eating in the cafeteria? Because I hear kids all the time, and just my own kids too, go from, I hate the food there, or they only have this, to, I really love Wednesdays when they serve hamburgers. I mean, so there's lots of different ways, but how do we get kids really interested? Because we want to have more kids take part in this program.
Well, the program is really well-rounded. We offer a lot of nutritious meals, breakfast and lunch.
Okay.
And all the programs have different entrees every day. You have a wide variety of fruits and vegetables to choose from, and milks as well. I think the biggest part is asking your student to take a look at our menus that we post online, see if there's something that's a favorite, and just have them come in and try it out. I think they're going to be really surprised what there is being offered. I know fruits and vegetables are tough for our youngsters, but again, I think if they are exposed enough and they try and they're sitting with their friends and their friends are trying, maybe they would give that a go. I know that number one is that kids really have a hard time learning if they're hungry. So if we can get our kids in and we can feed all of our students, they're going to have full stomachs and they're going to have a great day. And again, I think sitting with your friends and enjoying a meal, that's a really fun thing to do. So I encourage parents to take a look at our menus.
Great. So does it cost money? Is it like, money for every kid to eat every day? Or how does if a student wants to eat lunch, maybe they didn't bring money that day, or I don't know, not everybody can afford food every day to pay for food service. How do we get around that?
Yeah, so we have some amazing programs here in Jefferson School District. I'm not sure if everybody knows this, but Jefferson Elementary School and Jefferson Middle School actually qualify for a program called the Community Eligibility Provision. And that means that everybody eats at no charge. So
Everybody.
everybody. So the kids can come in and they can try a breakfast, they can try a lunch, they can eat different meals on different days of the month. So again, I encourage kids to come in and check us out.
Well, that's amazing. Becca, Chris, did you guys know that? Did you, like, anybody can eat?
I did not know that, but that's fantastic because I know that food security is so important, especially for kids these days.
Well, and you mentioned, Sharon, that that having a full belly is what helps kids be active in the classroom and be involved in the classroom. And from the teacher's standpoint, that is so true. Like trying to teach a child who is hungry, and I mean, I used to have, when I was teaching, I used to have like mini snacks on the ready, just in case a kid was like, they get so hangry, and good luck teaching them if they're hangry.
Now, you taught first grade, right?
Correct.
So at Jefferson Elementary School. And so you would see this, like, I mean, kids would come in and not have food. And,
Especially breakfast, right?
Oh,
Those
okay.
kids, some families are struggling at home, and we might not know this, but sometimes you come in and kids haven't had dinner the night before, or maybe they skipped breakfast because they had to rush out the door. And to go from breakfast to lunch, even if your lunch is at like 10:30, that's a long time for these little ones to go without any food. And if they're so busy being hungry, they're not going to take in anything that you're teaching them.
that makes so much sense.
Huge.
You know, that makes so much sense because I know, like, when I miss a meal, I'm working or whatever, and I can't eat lunch. I'm starving, and I can't think about the meeting. It's like, yeah, everyone go away because I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I can't imagine if I'm 7 years old and didn't have breakfast that day. Your lesson on, phonics or math is just not going to resonate with me. Right?
Yeah, and like you said, they don't necessarily recognize, because they're young, that they're having a hard time focusing or paying attention or staying in their seat or whatever it is because they're hungry. They don't recognize that, and so as the adult in the room, that's our responsibility to help make sure their nutrition.
So did you see that would cause behavior issues too?
Oh yes, very much so.
So there's a correlation between food, not eating well, and behavior, rise of behavior we wouldn't want to see in classrooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, statistics actually show that for sure.
Yeah.
Kids are calmer, they're just more focused, they're having a better day all the way around. So I get a lot of questions. Well, so we have this program at the elementary school and the middle school, but what can we do at a high school
Right.
level?
Very good.
So we could talk a little bit about that as well. So yes, you can go ahead and fill out a free and reduced application to see if your student qualifies for that program. So that's another wonderful segment at the high school level.
Okay, so
as well.
can I back you up there a minute?
Yes.
So the CEP goes for elementary and middle, but why not high school? Like, what's the...
Well, so there's a lot of things that play into that. So it is an eligibility brought on by other sort of qualifying federal programs that a student might be on. So, for example, if an elementary and a middle school qualify, that means that they qualify for other kinds, their students qualify for other federal programs. And you have to hit a certain percentage. And we are almost there at the high school level, but just not quite yet.
So if we had a higher percentage of meeting these other qualifying
Yes.
indicators,
Yes.
then our high school would be included in the CEP program too. But because we're just underneath that,
Yeah.
But-
just underneath.
but they can still go fill out this form. Where do they do that? Is that online? Or?
Yes, the best way to do that is go to the Jefferson School District website, and we have an online application right there. It's very simple to fill out. We do have directions there, though, if you want to read those. And just submit one. And to be honest, it's amazing how quickly that can happen. And then other things, there's other benefits to that as well. I don't know if people know that. Your school, if kids have applied and they do receive those benefits, your school also benefits from that. It helps secure funding for district educational programs, provides opportunities for grants. It also helps us qualify in the summer for our free feeding program for kids 1 through 18. So there's a lot of benefits there. Also can qualify individual households for something called the Affordable Connectivity Program by Xfinity, which qualifies households to receive up to $30 credits toward their internet and mobile devices. So it does a lot more than just help kids with meals.
So what you're saying, what I'm hearing, is we need every student to go out and be at least qualified.
Right. Right.
to get because they could see if they get a free meal, right? If
Yep.
they fill out this form. And then by doing that, we would be able to serve more kids who would help them, but would also help the school district in a bunch of different ways.
100%. You know, you might not want to participate in school's meals all the time, but it does help your school. So go ahead and remember that those are 100% confidential applications.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to add that that can be found easily on our main page under Parent Resources. We have a direct link to the application.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I was about to ask that because, going onto a website, sometimes when you're trying to find that one document, it can be a little challenging.
Well, and especially since our website is all revamped and new, it's for those people that have frequently visited it in the past. It might not look quite the same,
Yeah.
but and the other cool thing is the search bar works on our website now, whereas it didn't before. So if anything, you could always just type in nutrition services and it'll lead you directly to. And find the materials and application link and all of that.
Great. I'm really excited about the website and the way it looks, and you guys were instrumental in putting that together this summer. So thank you for all that great work, and I really hope all parents reach out and start looking at our website and just get familiar with it because there's a lot there, and it's pretty easily found if you just play with it a little bit. I think it might, but like you said, it might be a little awkward at first. But anyway, back to food food insecurity and nutrition services. What I had a question around fresh produce, and we're always looking at communities, and the communities that are the healthiest have access to good fruits and vegetables. And some of the communities that don't have access to that, like in these little supermarkets and stuff, or like little mini markets in big cities, don't necessarily have that access, and it plays an impact on their nutrition and their health. And so, as a school district, do you see more of a movement towards produce like that, or are there ways that we can introduce more like locally grown foods? Is that a thing, or how does it all work? And what are your thoughts on all that?
So, of course, that's probably the number one thing that we look at. When you're adding nutrition to meals, you're looking at those fresh fruits and vegetables. And you want kids to try things. You want to provide it so it's there, kids can sample. We have some great suppliers that also look to purchase locally grown foods. And we also have a commodity program that does the same. We are going to be getting fresh fruits and vegetables through the USDA. And I think that by exposing kids to those types of things, again, I really believe it's just coming in, checking out what we have to offer, sitting by a friend, and sharing conversation and maybe trying something new that we provide. The biggest piece there is exposing the kids to that fresh fruit and vegetable, and we can do that.
So, is there a fresh fruit and vegetable that is more commonly or more widely popular in schools than others? I mean, does broccoli work?
Broccoli is a tough sell. It's a tough sell. Of course, you get to the higher levels and kids are already acclimating to things like that. I would say things that are familiar. A lot of times kids come in and they only pick at first what's familiar that they see in their homes. It takes a little while, but again, through the school programs, because we're constantly rotating what we put in our meals and we serve and put out for kids to choose from, I think it gives them a wide variety of selection, and it does entice them to try something new.
Well, I applaud all that. I think it's really important that we try to offer as much good produce and good food to our students, good healthy student. But yet, the pull and the I think the pressure is that pizza, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I like that too. I mean, it's good, or the hamburger, but are you offering, like, when you go make a menu, for example,
Yes.
are you making menus? Is it the same every week, and is it every Wednesday is hamburger day, and then do you add a different produce or a different vegetable with it each time? How does that work? How do you do a menu?
So menus are based on a lot of different things. First of all of our menus are meet high standards based on the ODE USDA guidelines. So that is, we use whole grains. We use, again, fruits and vegetables. We have a variety of milks. And we have to be careful about our sugars and our salts. So really nutritionally balanced, number one. The second thing is, and I always say this, if kids aren't willing to eat it, then, so you do see pizza, you do see things that kids like, but we are choosing the whole grain wheats. We are choosing less sodium, less sugar, because we want the kids to actually consume the food that we put out there. The big one is for kids too, is that we are always asking, what do you like to eat? We like to create surveys, find out what kids are missing. What would they like to see?
That seems like a no-brainer, right? I mean, that's a great idea, right? What do the kids want? What do you want to see?
They are our customer, and we want to keep things safe and nutritionally balanced, but we also want them to enjoy to come and eat.
Yeah.
That's a really, really, really big piece for us. And I think, again, those favorites, if we can mix them up and add every now and again, we like to add some new things to give it a try. And we'll find out pretty quickly if that didn't go well, depending on how many kids eat that particular item. But again, healthy first, safe, of course, and then we try to provide a variety of things that kids will like.
Very good. So just real quickly on the variety, our diet is changing so much. There's a lot of gluten-free, people that are gluten-free now. There's a lot of dairy-free. I'm included with the dairy-free piece. So do you also have to provide you have to think through that to provide gluten-free or dairy-free options, or is that not such a thing?
We can do that with a doctor's note for sure. And so if there's some kind of nutritional need or requirement that a student has, please contact our office and let us know. We would be glad to accommodate that.
Very good.
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Well, in the remaining, I don't know how much, we have like a minute or two left, 2 minutes. Is there any other message that we haven't really covered today that you would like our parents to know?
I just really highly encourage students, if they're continued customers, come back and see us again. But if you have never eaten in the cafeteria, to give it a try. Because I think, again, you might be surprised how enjoyable and fun that it is. I also wanted to mention that another handy thing for parents is that you can pay for your students' meals online if you are someone that pays for meals.
Okay.
And that is super, super handy. Again, found on the nutrition services portion of the website.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. That's really good and helpful information.
Yes.
Well, that's about our time for today. Sharon, I wanted to thank you again for joining us. It was a real pleasure. And Chris and Becca, thank you again for co-hosting with me. And that wraps up another episode of J-Pod. Until next week, folks, have a great day.
Thank you.
See you next time.
All right, bye.